Assalamu alaikum, family. Welcome back to my channel. Today is a beautiful day. I hope today is a great day for you. On my last video, somebody made a comment saying that I have interesting dreams or something like that. When I just told the one dream, and then I got the idea, like, you know what, I'm gonna do a video on some of the dreams that I used to have. So I wrote a few of them down. I wrote quite a few of them down, actually. But I can't write all of them. I feel like I remember my dreams better now than before, but let me get started. A long time ago, I used to have dreams where black shadows were always fighting me. Like, they were all, and I was always running from them. It was terrible, and it was so terrible that I wasn't even like all the way asleep. It would happen like when I was going to go to sleep. And you know what? Okay, the lighting. I'm sorry about the lighting. It's always different colors. This looks washed out to me, but I don't really know how to fix it. Just as long as the volume is good. Sometimes most of the time I record in my car because people don't say like, oh, the volume is too low, but in my house for some reason the sound is like gone. It's better in the car. But anyway, let me get back to my black shadows dreams. This maybe was like 10 years ago. They used to come and they would be like fighting me, and I didn't know why, because they would be like laughing at me and taunting me, and I would always be running from them. And this would happen for a while. This was happening for like months, and I would always be running from these like black shadows, and they could bend and twist in any kind of way, and I would always like run from them, and like, why are you guys like bullying me? And like in my dream I would ask, like, why are you guys bullying me? Like, go bully somebody else. So and then like when I would start waking up, I could still see them like running around the house. They would like run in their hiding place like once I would like wake up. But after a while I got tired of them bullying me like in my sleep, like fighting me, and I started fighting them back. But you know what was so interesting? When I started fighting them back, they would run from me. And so I got really good at it. I started looking forward to going to sleep, like, oh wait, like I can actually fight them back. But it's not naturally me to be fighting. So even when I was sleeping, I was running from them, because in my real life, you know how they say there's people have like a fight or flight reaction. I'm more of the flight person. I will run from drama in a second. I don't like it. And if I have to face it, then I will, but I really don't like to. So in my dreams I was the same way. I would run from these like black shadows that were like always like fighting me, but they weren't even mad at me. They would be like bullying me and like beating me up and laughing at me. Like that was the worst. But yeah, I started to fight them back. And in my waking state I would ask God, like, where are they coming from? Like, why do they want to bother me? And I feel like he was telling me, like in my tahajjud prayer, like when I would pray in the middle of the night, I feel like God was telling me, like, you have the strength, you have the power, like you can fight them back. This is what I need you to do. So anyways, I started fighting them back, and they would run from me. And then, like I said, I started looking forward to it. Like when I would go to sleep, I'm like, if you're gonna bother me, I'm gonna fight you back. But they would always run away, and I'm like, like, now there's no fun with it, because as soon as I would get aggressive back with them, they would just run from me. But okay, that was really long. You guys, this video might be an hour long. It might be an hour long. Stick around. Let me tell you about some interesting dreams that I used to have. Another dream was, I used to dream that my sister lived in a land of all honey, and like even the houses were made of honey, and I don't know. And she had like this stream, like this river of honey that was in front of her house. Like the whole town was honey, but there was still like a river. It was a pretty deep river that was like made of honey, and she would jump inside of it. And in my dream I would always say, if you stay in there, you're gonna die. And I would jump in there with her and try to save her, and literally we'd be talking under the honey. And I'm like, oh, this just tastes so good. But I would tell her, like, if you stay in here, you're gonna die. So I would always try to, like, I would be swimming in the honey with her and like trying to get her out. And she's like, no, leave me here, I want to stay here, like I love it down here. And I'm like, no, you can't breathe under here, like this is honey, like you're gonna die. And I would always be trying to get her out. I don't know why I would have that dream. I don't have that dream anymore. But that was another interesting dream I used to have. Another interesting dream I used to have, that I used to always be walking through an apple orchard. Don't know why. And it was so bright, it was like almost blinding. But I loved how I felt when I woke up from that dream. I don't know why I was walking through an apple orchard, like wearing like a really pretty dress, and like it was really nice, but no one else was there with me, but I would just be walking through there. And at this time, like my life wasn't even like smooth like that, but the dream was always just so smooth and so nice, and it felt really good. But I used to always be walking through some apple orchard. I don't know where I was going to, where I was coming from, but that place was so soothing and nice. Another dream I used to have was it was always raining, sky bright, everything, not a dark gloomy rainy day, but raining. One time I was a few times I've dreamt this. I was going to the mall to pick my son up, and it was even raining inside of the mall. It was like a light misty, like mist kind of rain, but the rain was like, it was filling up the mall. It was like up to like my shins, maybe 12 to 24 inches deep of like rain water on the floor, and it would be raining like inside of the mall. And then everyone in the mall thought this was normal, like no one was complaining about it, like, why is it raining in here? I didn't say anything either. I just thought it was like quite strange or different, like it was always raining. I'd go outside and it would be raining. Everything that I was doing outside, it was still raining. It felt nice though, but it was like raining. And yeah. Another dream I used to have, and you guys, I don't even know what if these even have meanings, because like when I think about those dreams, like my life was not even anything like this, and I didn't watch shows that would like influence those kind of dreams. I don't know, but let me tell you about this dream that I used to always have, and sometimes I still, once in a blue moon, I still have this dream. It's my parents are driving me, my brother, and my sister somewhere, and my dad gets out to get gas, and I'm like, oh no dad, like I'll pump the gas, and he's like, what? I'll pump the gas. So I'm like, okay, well let me just at least push the numbers. I don't know why I wanted to push the grades, but so he's like, okay. In real life he's like that, like he's so cool, he's very relaxed, and he's just like, okay, well go ahead and choose the grade. So I choose the grade, and I'm standing out there and I'm watching him pump the gas, and the oil, I don't, like every single time in this dream that I've had this dream, so much oil. I'm calling it oil because that's what it was. It wasn't even like, it was so much, like it would overflow out of the tank. The car would start floating. And then my dad would be like, hey, like he'd be pointing to other people like, come get, this is too much gas. And I'd be like, hey, you guys want some of this gas? Like we have too much, every single time. And then the car started floating away. And then so like my dad, like he pulled me aside the car, and he's like, oh my gosh, this overflow always happens. Just floating away, so much oil pouring out of the windows of the car, like, and like I'm smiling now because that's the feeling that I had like in the dream. Like it was funny to me, but like why were we floating in oil, and like why was that happening all the time? Like he was putting like so much gas in the car that we would like, it was just too much, and the overflow would happen like so fast. So yeah, that was another interesting dream that I'm just like, why do I have these weird dreams? So another one was in my dreams, a lot of times I would go to sleep and immediately I would feel like I was flying, and when I would look down, I was sitting like on top of a bird's head, a huge bird. I would be like sitting on top of his head, and I felt like I was on a ride. And I don't like, again, I don't even know where the bird was taking me, but I was just happy to be on this flight, and I would be in the air just flying on the bird's head. And another interesting dream I used to have is I would be sitting under this huge leaf, a huge leaf. I don't know, maybe it was like a philodendron leaf, and it was like next to one of my childhood friends' porches, and it was like super hot outside, but myself, I'd be sitting under this huge leaf. Nobody knew I was under there, and I'd be like reading a book, and I could look out, like peek out from like out of the, move the leaf over, and I could see everybody else was like looking for shade, but I was like chilling under this giant leaf. And I've had this dream a couple of times, and yeah, I was just chilling under there in the shade reading a book. Don't ask, guys, don't ask. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna tell this dream because this one is kind of similar, where I'm sitting under this next dream that I used to have a lot is I was sitting under a lean-to, or you know how kids make forts in their house, like they'll take a sheet and like make like a tent. They'll use their bed, the couch pillows, chairs, whatever, and they'll have like a sheet and they'll make like a tent, and it's whatever it wants to be. That place is like the play place where they want to play. They make like a little tent in the house. In my dream, we were, myself and my two sons, and a man, I don't know who the man was, he was under there with us, but I have no idea who he was. He was like sitting to my left, he was writing, but my sons were sitting like right next to me, and we were eating. I remember we were eating vegetables and I think like maybe it was lamb or something like that. And we're sitting under like this makeshift tent thing, and the ground was really dry and cracked, but we were under there. It was just us, and it was like shady, it was cool, it was really nice. We were eating, and then okay, this is like the scary part of the dream. Like we would look out, and there would be hundreds of thousands of people that had like their flesh was rotting off of their bodies, and they were all walking past, and like with their arms out, like all looking for food, and anything they came across, they were like drink whatever that they came across, eat whatever they came across, and they were so hungry. Their clothes were tattered and torn, and like I said, their flesh was rotting off their bodies, and bugs were like jumping at their face or their neck or whatever. And there were hundreds of thousands of them, and they were all going by like if, and I kept saying like, okay, we have some food, we need to share it with them. And but if we went out there, and I remember hesitating because I'm like, okay, this is a stampede, like they're gonna crush me if I go out there. So my son's like, so let's just wait for a little bit. So I remember in my dream sitting there waiting, like, okay, so when the crowd gets a little bit less, since there's just this one plate of food, we can go at least give some of it to some of them. Even though I knew it still wouldn't be enough, because it was just that plate of food that I had in my hands. And so yeah, I've had that dream a few times. Like it was so gross, and so like their teeth were like rotting out, and just it was bad. I thought somebody walked past the car. So I've had that dream a few times, and like I said, I don't know what that's about, and I don't even watch shows like that. I don't hardly even watch TV. First of all, I don't watch that much TV, but I don't know why I was having that dream. Don't know why. Another dream that, and I'm telling these kind of fast because I really don't want to make this video too long, but I need to upload another video because I'm trying to stay consistent with it. That one. Oh, another dream I used to have is like when I would go to sleep, just when I was like really like going to sleep, it was like in between state where like if you open your eyes you will see something that looks like shattered glass or spider webs or something like that. I remember I used to call my sister about this as well, like, why do I see this? And like I'm in awakened state, like I could like pinch myself, but I still see this. But this was the time that this used to happen a lot. I felt like I was able to hear every single thing in the world. It always started out sounding like horses were running towards me, because the sound would start getting louder and louder and louder. And I felt like I could hear everything in the world. And what was interesting is I never even told my son. And one day, he came, he sat next to me. It was bedtime, so he gets off the chair, he comes next to me. He's like, "What is that loud sound?" And he's like, "Every night I hear this, but I don't know where it's coming from." So he was so little. I can't believe he talked so well, and he was so little. So he's like, "Where's it coming from?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you hear it too?" Like I couldn't believe it. But I could hear like everything, and in the beginning a lot of what was being said was not audible to me, and then after a while, when I made myself calm down and not be scared of these loud sounds that was happening, nothing that I could see in the physical, but all spiritually, like I could hear so much. It was so crazy. There would be like this demon that would come like laughing in my face, and then it would be like a voice that says like, "You are okay, you're okay, you need to hear this at this time, and something is being lifted." I didn't know what was being lifted. These dreams happened so long ago. But yeah. Oh, and then I would start to be able to hear individual voices, and the only thing is that I would say at that time was like, God is stronger than you, God's the winner. And so I didn't even know what to say, because they would be like taunting me, like I could feel their presence, but I couldn't see them, and everything was very loud, and it was a bunch of mass craziness going on. And then um, that's when I started increasing my prayers in the night. I don't know why, but yeah, I do know why, but I started increasing my prayers in the night, um, because something that I was hearing told me things are in the spiritual world first before they come to the physical world, and everything wicked that is standing in the night and praying, um, and worshiping Satan, you need to stand in the night and worship God, and you won't have to fight anything. That is your spiritual. Let God fight the spiritual battle for you, because you can't win like with the physical fight. Like if anything is going to take over with you, like you can't win that way. Let God fight your battles, pretty much is what's this was in my ear telling me. At the same time, I was able to hear all this craziness, so I started to stand in the night and pray. um, you know, and so I increased that. Then I wasn't able to hear any of that anymore. I didn't feel afraid anymore, because I feel like I was trying to like make myself have confidence. And so yeah, I started increasing my prayers at night. And then let's see, hmm, let's see, what's another one? I used to be afraid to go to sleep, just because there was a lot in my house, and something would come sit on top of me. It was very heavy, this pressure. So I would be afraid to go to sleep. So I would try to stay up as long as I could. But that was like having a negative effect on me in the daytime, because I'd have to drive so far. Remember in my other videos, I told you I used to have to drive 1 hour, 15 minutes, sometimes an hour, 20 minutes to work one way, to school one way, because we did like everything in Houston, Texas. Although I lived in the country, but we did everything in the city. So I was afraid. Oh, so I would stay up late because I was afraid. So I would be laying down, but I would like be watching makeup tutorials, hair tutorials, like anything to keep myself awake, because this pressure, something would come sit on me and like and just sit on me, and I'm just like, no, like I'm wide awake, why would you be doing this? But I could feel it. I couldn't see anything, but I could feel it. So what happened? Oh, and after a while, around 1:44 to 2 o'clock in the morning, a being would come, and it wasn't even shaped like a human, because it wasn't in like a flesh. And you know, the spirits, they don't have like they need to go and go in a person's body to be able to like move around and see us like us. But this being would come and sit on the chair that was facing my door, and I would sleep with my bedroom doors open. Why did I used to sleep with my bedroom doors open? I don't know why, but I did. And um I would wait until I would see like this cloudy figure come sit on the chair, and I would feel like this. It's very peaceful and very calm, and I was able to go to sleep. But this is what I was gonna say. It was having a negative effect on me in the day to stay up like at night, because after a while in the daytime I would like run red lights, and because I was so sleepy I wasn't like alert. And so yeah, that was really bad. But whenever that being would come and sit on the couch, I knew it was okay to go to sleep. And then immediately when I would wake up, whenever I would feel a nudge, sometimes they say make tahajjud this time, that time. But sometimes when God wants to tell you something, he'll send his angels to give you that nudge to wake you up then, so you can get up and talk to him and keep that relationship with him. So whenever I would feel that nudge, I would wake up to pray, and Tahajjud prayer in particular, not the Fajr prayer, because you need to wait until that time comes. And so, when I would open my eyes, I would see that being like rise up. I don't know I'm not gonna say it was a man or a woman. If it wasn't a man or a woman, it was just a being. That being would leave, and then I would get up and pray. So yeah, that was happening at that time. And dreams that I started having was I would be dreaming and all of my clothes would be sparkling a beautiful color gold. They would be gold, and then they had sparkles on top of the gold color. All of my clothing would have that on there, and then I would wake up and my clothes would still be sparkling, and I would walk over to them and it would fade a little bit and it would be vibrant and then fade a little bit, and so I would like stay back. And then I would look around the room and I would see my purse, my wherever you're from purse, handbag, pocketbook. I would see that sparkling, a beautiful sparkling on my handbag, and I would just be staring in amazement, like, this is so beautiful. Like, why is this shining like this? Even like a platinum gold with like sparkles, or like a really rich colored gold with like gold sparkles on top of that gold color, like so beautiful, absolutely beautiful. um, so yeah, I would have dreams like that. Once in a blue moon, I still will have that dream, and I will wake up and it will still actually be there, but I won't walk close to it anymore. I will just look at it and marvel at it. It's so pretty. Um, and another dream that I used to have, I would be driving, and I've never had a black Honda before, but I had a black Honda in my dream, and I had a bunch of clothes that I was donating. And why every time I'm driving in my dream, I'm um, donating clothing and shoes and like different things. But anyways, that's where I was going, and there were two officers at the top of the bridge that was like monitoring the traffic, and they pulled over like 50 cars at once, in my car and another car, which, by the way, this lady had the same car as me. She was driving a black Honda, and um they pulled everybody over, all 50 cars, and they separated myself and the other lady that was driving, and they say, you two are not under arrest, just stay on the side, everybody else is under arrest. So I was waiting on the side, but the lady who got pulled over with me, and that the officers told us, you guys wait right here until we clear everybody else, and then you guys are free to go. She thought something bad was gonna happen, so she put her money in my bag, like in my handbag. She put her money in there, but I didn't know it. So after they arrested everybody, and then they were like, okay, you two ladies, you guys, like, we had to pull you over because you were driving in the traffic with the people that we were gonna pull over, but go ahead and get back in your car, and um and you guys can go wherever you were going. So I was like, yes, I get to go to, it was like maybe a Goodwill or some place that I was going, and I needed to donate these clothes. And the lady was like, wait, you have my money? And I'm like, no, I don't. And she's like, yes, you do. Open your bag, let me see. So I opened my purse, and it was filled with money. So I'm like, I don't have it. I'm like, all this money is mine. Like every cranny, every pocket in my handbag was so stuffed with money. It was like expanding my bag because so much money was in it. She was like, you do have it. And I was like, I don't. And I'm like, I said, I would never take your money. Like, I have my own money. So I put my bag on my shoulder, and I'm going to my car, and she's like, wait, can you check one more time? So I'm like, yeah, I'll check again. So I open it, and her money was in there, and I saw her money because her money had, like, it was money from China. So I'm like, oh. And then so I gave her money. She went her way, and then I remember completing what I was gonna do, and I donated everything that was in my trunk. Yeah, that dream happened like a couple of times, and I like all these dreams, I don't know why they happen. I don't know what that means. And like I said, it's not like I watch these things, and my life was nothing like that. As a matter of fact, I didn't even have money when I was having these dreams. But another time, let's see. I'm in this building. Another dream that I would have all the time is I was in a building, like an office building, and I had staff, and I would help my staff. I would make the plates and give the plates of food to my staff to take out to my students. I had students, like, I have no idea. But after everybody, like, it was some people, they were random people, and I don't know what I was teaching them or why I was like making plates and giving them to my staff. Don't know why I had staff. The staff would give the plates, and then I would go in the kitchen of this office building that I owned, and I would help my staff wash the dishes, and I would dry them and stack them, and that was it. Like, and I would always have these dreams like that was like very similar to that. Another time, another dream that I used to have, I would be, I would go to some center, don't know where the center was or what the name of it is, but I would go to some center just so I could help make plates. Um, am I going to be a chef? Am I going to be a chef? Why am I? Okay. But this is the dreams that I used to have, okay? So, it'd be like random families, just it's never even any people that I knew. So yeah, I would have these dreams that it was funny is I remember in this dream I would take a cup and I would put kimchi in it and I would put it aside because I knew I was going to eat that after everybody else finished eating. So yeah, that was funny. I remember like laughing in my dream, like, why am I stashing this kimchi on the side? And because I knew I was going to eat it after everybody else ate. And then another dream I used to have was a really small man used to come to a door. It was the door of this lady that I used to go to her house, and I didn't know why. I did not know that she was using me as a source of comfort, because she never told me. Every time I would go to her house to do her hair, she had 4 kids, and every time I would go to her house to do her hair, she would go to sleep. She would take out her hair care products and she would hurry up and she would be like, okay, I'm going to be right back, and she would go to sleep. Like, this is for real, like in real life. And I'd be sitting and waiting for her, and then I would go and send her kids like, go see what your mom's doing, like I'm supposed to be doing her hair. And this happened like 3 times. I stopped going to her house after that because and then one day I saw her. We were at the DMV, I think. I was at the DMV. She came to the DMV and I asked her, like, what happened? Like, why did you used to do that? And she told me that her husband committed suicide a month prior and she wasn't able to go to sleep. And I don't remember where I met her. At that time, I used to work for DSS. I met her there. And so anyways, that's how I met her. I met her when she came into my work. But so yeah, she told me that she was not able to sleep, and I bought her some comfort. So she pretended like she wanted me to do her hair. So we would make these hair appointments, and when I would get her to her house, she would go to sleep. And so I didn't stay the entire time that she was sleeping. I would have to leave, but she couldn't go to sleep until, like, I guess an adult was there with her, because she had 4 young kids. Not babies, but they were young, like 9, 12. So yeah. Oh, that was the house. See, this video is going to be an hour long. That was the house that I had this dream about. I dreamt that I was standing in her doorway and this small man came up with like a sack of money, like a lot of money. And he said that he had a delivery, and I said, who's it for? He said, it's for you. And I said, me? This package for me? So he opens the bag and I see hundreds of thousands of dollars in this bag, and I was like, oh, that's so nice of you. And I said, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. And in the dreams, I'm like, well, let me go ask my creator, and I'm gonna come right back. I told him, sit down, I'm gonna come right back. So he sits in the doorway with the bag of money, and I remember I was going to go and pray and say, God, you sent me all this money, but I don't know what you want me to do with it. So when I went and did that, and I was just going to do that quickly, I turned around, and the guy was gone with the bag, with the money. And so none of these things I know what that was about. So moving on to the next dream that I used to have. Let's see. I went to a building that I was going to purchase. Why am I having these dreams? It was an apartment building that I was interested in purchasing, and there was a guy and a girl that was showing me the apartment building. It was empty, nobody lived there. It was a brand new apartment building, nobody lived there, and I wanted to purchase it. And there was we go into one of the units, and there was a homeless lady. And I'm saying homeless because it looked like she hadn't taken a shower in forever. She had missing teeth. She was really tattered and torn. And she was going to squat there. She wanted to go in one of the apartments and live there. And in the dream, I purchased the entire apartment building and gave the entire building to her. One person who needed just 1 unit. I purchased the entire apartment building and gave the whole entire building to the lady who just wanted 1 place to sleep. Strange. I would never do that in real life. Nobody would. And then Okay, we're coming down to the end of it. This dream, I don't know. I would always dream about me fishing with my dad's there, my brother's there, my mom's there, my sister's there, my family's there. We're fishing, and then I'm like walking with these 2 buckets of fish, and I have a stick going through the buckets, like through the handles. I put it on my neck, and I walk to like a bazaar, and I put, or like some place, and I put the fish on ice, and then and then I don't call the kids. These kids come, and then I wrap the fish like it's a present. I'm like, here, take this home to your family. Take this home to your family. Yuck! Why am I doing this? Don't ask. These are dreams. These are dreams that I used to have. So I'm gonna have that be the last dream that I tell, because I've had so many strange dreams that I do not know the meaning of like why I'm even having these dreams. Um, Now dreams that I have is more me interacting with people. So these are dreams that I used to have. My dreams now are me interacting with a lot of people, which I find strange because I do not like to interact with a lot of people. I don't. I'm with people on a regular basis, but I love my me time. I love to go on drives that I am doing nothing. I have no destination. I'm not going anywhere. I'm looking at lights at the nighttime, just driving, and not even having the radio on, just being just in a really good, grateful, nice mood. It's very therapeutic. People don't even tell you, like, it's getting darker and darker out here, so I'm gonna wrap this up. But yeah, those are dreams that I used to have. More recent dreams that I have is like I'm interacting with a lot of people. I don't even know what I'm doing or why I'm doing that, but those are more recent dreams that I used to have. But these other dreams, whew, I used to have them all the time, and don't know what any of them meant, because like I said, at that time I didn't even have anything at those times that I would have these dreams, so I don't know why I would even have dreams like that. But you guys get in the comment section, share some of your dreams. If you have no dreams, at least give this video a thumbs up so other people can see this video, and if they have dreams and that they want to share in the comment section, so that we could all read like these different dreams and things like that. At least give this video a thumbs up so other people at least could see this, even if you don't share any of your dreams that you don't understand the meaning of, or anything like that. So until next time, inshallah, take care. Have a blessed and amazing, beautiful day. Keep your head up, keep smiling, move forward, and I'll